Over 30,000 firefighters, this we're talking about, and this is really serious again, just people can't afford to live. We're talking about, you know, people splashing out on properties and whatever. Firefighters are considering strike action because they've been made a pay offer of 2%.
Yeah, a vote's going to be held in 5 weeks' time. If it's successful, could millions of people be put at risk? The last time firefighters had a strike, it took over 5 months to resolve. That was all the way back in 2002. It wasn't solved then until the summer of the year after.
Joining us now, trade unionist and firefighter. You'll see him appearing on GB News as well. Paul Embry. Paul, good morning to you. Paul, how have we got to this stage? How do we get here again? I mean, I look at you guys and you're in a similar boat to the posties as well. Royal Mail, that's a 2% take it or leave it offer.
Yeah, and just listening to your discussion there, Eamon, the reality is firefighters are now in the same boat as many other people. We had an offer of 2% in June, and frankly, it was an insult at a time when millions of workers, firefighters included, struggling to make ends meet, being affected by the cost of living crisis. We've got firefighters visiting food banks, believe it or not, people working in the emergency services, but visiting food banks. And we said to the National Fire Service employers, look, you need to improve that offer. It's not acceptable. It's an insult to firefighters, and unfortunately they haven't. So we're in a position now where we feel we've got very little option but to hold a ballot and head towards strike action.
So, Paul, I've got to ask you, who pays the bill for our firefighters? Where does it come from, central government or local authorities?
It's a bit of both, really, Eamon. Firefighters are employed by local authority fire and rescue services. Some of the funding for fire services is raised locally. Some of it is provided by central government. I mean, the interesting thing is, as you know, the pay settlement for much of the rest of the public sector has been much better. I say much better. It's been better than 2%. Police, for example, received 5% back in July. Other workers in the public sector received 5% as well. So firefighters are looking at the situation and saying, well, hold on a second, why do you value us so low in that respect by offering us only 2%? And I think also, there's a lot of anger because of what happened recently with the heat wave. And the fact that firefighters were on the front line, showing the bravery and professionalism that they always do, dealing with all of the wildfires that were taking place across the country. They also worked through the pandemic, don't forget, remained on the front line through the pandemic. And for employers, the National Fire Service employers, to come to us and say, look, we only think you're worth 2% this year, and for us to say, look, please reconsider, and for them to say, well, no, that's all you're getting. Does anyone really question the fact that firefighters now feel, well, if that's what you're going to offer us, we've really got no option but to withdraw our labour?